The Hawks travel to the Garden to take on the Knicks. It's Atlanta and New York right now. Good Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to the jungle. We'll talk about everything you need to know to bet the Hawks and Knicks game today. And if you like these standalone game videos, hit that thumbs up button. The more I know you enjoy them, the more I'll continue to do them. I have another one coming out for you later this afternoon. So the Hawks travel to New York, Madison Square Garden, to take on the Knicks. They're catching 8.5 points. The over-under set at 239.5. Atlanta comes in 8th in the East. Winners of 3 straight. The Knicks are 3rd in the East, winners in 8 of their last 10. These are 2 of the highest scoring teams in the association. New York is 5th in points. Atlanta is 8th in points. This is the 4th time they've played so far this season. Atlanta has won 2 of the last 3 straight up. The Knicks have a short rotation, a short bench, not much depth, and are starting to look a little tired. That was evident last night. They're also probably without OG Anunoby again today. Karl Anthony Towns is playing hurt. It's only his finger, and it's not on his shooting hand, but you could see him grimacing last night. It was definitely affecting him despite the amount of points that he had. Atlanta plays with the second fastest pace in the association. I think that pace and the way that Anthony Towns is starting to look a little bit tired and weary is going to be a little too much for the big fellow tonight. In fact, this kind of pace that Atlanta plays doesn't bode well for him. His last 2 games against Atlanta, he had only 19 and 13 points. Dating back to last season, his last 5 games against Atlanta, no matter what team it was on, Minnesota or New York, he's under his points line today of 25.5 in 4 of those last 5 games. I'm cold on the big guy today. Take Anthony Towns under 25.5 points. The trade deadline acquisition of Caris LeVert and Terrence Mann are underrated, and I think some of the most impactful that are going to make a difference as the season goes on toward the playoffs. Although they don't start, it gives them one of the most reliable benches in the NBA. Those 2, along with Larry Nance Jr., he's out today. But LeVert and Terrence Mann have been very effective in just a small sample size that we've seen so far. That should come in handy today against a Knicks team that's tired on the second game of a back-to-back, coming from Indiana to New York, traveling overnight, and they don't have much depth. I'm warm today on Caris LeVert over points plus assists. You know, there's a saying in sports betting when it comes, in betting underdogs with the points. If you don't think that team can win straight up, don't take them with the points. Well, I do think Atlanta can win this game. New York is one of the worst teams in the NBA covering the spread off a back-to-back. They're 2-5 in the second game of back-to-backs against the spread this season. While Atlanta is 13-9 versus the spread this year as underdogs. I do think they can win this game, but I think that 8.5 points is too much for the Knicks to cover and too much to pass up as a responsible bettor. I'm hot on the Hawks plus the points today. Give me Atlanta plus 8.5.